we are live, so we can be okay because people are gonna join in and everything else. So we're gonna, and the good thing is you guys are gonna have some questions as well, which is good.
Awesome.
Okay. So give us a couple of minutes. Some people are joining in. I know, guys, you're curious to see who is here. Well, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Oh, we got a lot more people. Okay, so let's see. I know that you know my voice, so I'm gonna introduce you to two people that I really love, you know, to be honest with you, and I respect. We're gonna start with Mr. Bob. Bob Rizzo. How are you, Bob?
I'm doing well, Sonia. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to have you here. Seriously.
I thank you for the opportunity.
Oh my goodness, I like the series. Okay, you know what? If you don't know Bob, you're gonna meet him in a couple of minutes because he is a jokester. He likes jokes a lot. Anyway, but and then we have. Oh my goodness, I know that she's nervous. You have a lot of people, by the way. Evie, you want to introduce yourself? Come on.
Yes, Ivy Trevitazzo-Flordelis. Thank you so much, Sonia. I feel so blessed to be here and to be able to share the platform with this incredible man too.
Yes,
Exciting.
It is, right, guys? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna start because I have a lot of people here. Thank you guys for joining. I love her. Oh, you got
me.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love you guys. Thank you.
All right. So let's talk and thank you guys for coming over to the Latin Financial Spanglish Podcast. My goodness, that's long. But we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of, you know, things that we can talk about and help the businesses. You know, obviously we're here for the same reason. So, you know, to all of you, thank you for, you know, joining in. Thank you, Miranda. Awesome. So let's talk about Bob. Tell me what you do.
What I really do?
Oh, no. What do you do for business? I love it.
You know, about 20 years ago, I sold two of my businesses, and I really watched them grow based on the help of others. Bob Rizzo did not grow a business. Bob Rizzo grew a business with the help of others and listening. And when my wife and I sold our businesses, we wanted to give back a little bit. And we started working with RZ1 Services, which is my brand name. And what we try to do is help small businesses in their infant stages grow. Website design, collateral. We try to find their audiences. And we try to let them know it doesn't cost a fortune to do that. But we're finding that a lot of times they'll read all these self-help books, how to do.
Yes.
And that's great, but you still have to do. And with us coaching you, we're gonna help you do what you need to do. So as you're building these businesses, you know, you still, most time it is a side hustle at first. And you've got something going on at home. You've got a family at home. So what ends up happening is that, how do I manage through my home life and take care of my primary income in building a business? And it's difficult. But when you start networking with vetted, trusted people, like for instance, when they come to me and they say, look, where do I get the financing?
Yeah.
Well, obviously I say Latin Finance. When they say, how do I protect as I grow? Then I go to Ivy. So what happens is that what I try to do is let them understand is you're putting out fires as I put out fires.
Yeah.
And I'm working every day. We forget about protecting what we have. We forget about how can I maximize my financing because I'm too busy working every night, working. And that's where we come in as coaches and just help. And the goal of that is that if I'm upset you're successful, I'm the failure.
Yeah.
If you leave my presence and I haven't made you feel better, I'm the failure. You're not. And that's just what we try to do organically together, just work together and just help people get someplace that they want to get to.
So guys, so you basically a connector. You connect the right people to the right circumstances for their business.
Yes, once we get them to where they really should be or hope to be, we've got to get them in a position to protect them and to grow them through finances and through protection with different insurances, different, she has the better, Ivy would have the better avenues for that because that's her expertise. But I just can't leave a client out there without a finance avenue and a protection avenue. I wouldn't be doing my job.
That's fantastic. You know, and to, you know what, internet has it all nowadays, but it's not like you know the person behind, you know, the screen. So it's not like, you know, you need to know, like, word to mouth. You work with Ivy, you worked with me before. So basically we know each other and we know that we're going to take care of the client.
And Sonia, you said something that's key.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay an advertising agency
Mm-hmm.
thousands and thousands of dollars. If you're trained properly with social media
Yes.
and word of mouth, if you send me a client, there's no trust issue because you've already vetted them.
Correct.
If Ivy sends me someone or I send Ivy someone, it's easier. You don't need to spend a fortune.
That's fantastic. So we're going to continue to you because we want to know, obviously, how you started the business and when you started the business and how they can actually contact you. But we're going to go to, oh my goodness, Evie. So Evie, tell me a little bit about what you're doing and how you started and what you do.
Yeah, so just to piggyback off of what Bob was saying, you know, word of mouth can either make or break your business, truth be told. And so one of the best things that we can do is grow each other organically. I think it's from a biblical standpoint, it's what we're supposed to do. So I'm the regional vice president out of the Bloomfield branch of Primerica. And I've been in the business serving the community for over 14 years.
Wow.
And basically what I do is, I help our families. My main focus is more middle-class families, educating them on personal finance, which is something that I know for a fact we lack a lot of today in today's society. So, my main mission is to help our families, find other avenues where they can earn more income, because I understand that if they don't have enough income, I can put together a comprehensive game plan, but that wouldn't help them, right? So I teach them methods on how to earn more income through, business coaching and mentorship. I teach our families how to become properly protected, so that if God forbid something were to happen to their loved ones, we don't have to do the GoFundMes or passing the plate at church, which is unfortunately something, especially in the
everybody,
Latino community,
yes, that happens a lot.
Very
yes.
popular.
Yeah.
And we teach methods on how to get debt free, and more importantly, creating financial independence. Getting to a point where you're working because you want to, not necessarily because you have to get to a point in life where you wake up when you're done sleeping, to do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want, for as long as you want. And that's the ultimate dream that unfortunately for many, they think it's completely out of reach. But with some basic concepts and just some simple rules, I've been able to bring someone from the starting line all the way to financial independence. And that's what I've been blessed with the opportunity to be able to teach other people to do that. And that's not where I started. I mean, I come from very humble beginnings.
How you started? That was the next question. Yeah.
That's a great question. So, I'm just very humble beginnings. I was born and raised in the south end of Hartford, Connecticut. And so for those who are from the south end of Connecticut, south end of Hartford, they know where Walmart is at.
Yes.
That's my roots.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I was always told that, we had to go to school and get good grades and, get a good job to be able to excel in our lives. My mother is from Puerto Rico, came to the United States.
¿Qué parte? We all want to know.
Puerto Rico.
Oh, my goodness.
Representando. And so, she came here to this country in the mid-'70s with both of my sisters, and she came by herself in the middle of the winter. I mean, your typical story, right? With $60 in her pocket and a dream in her heart. And, for myself, we grew up there, and even though my mom worked so hard, Sonia, we were always struggling. There was always a struggle. We lived in the projects. It wasn't necessarily an affluent lifestyle, but she knew that as long as she was working hard, that was her somewhat, American dream. That was her success, coming from the island, learning the language, getting a job. And so she instilled that in us. And so what I realized very quickly was that, that method of just grinding it out wasn't necessarily going to get us out of where we were. Yeah. And the best way that I can honor my mother, especially with the hard work and the sacrifices she made coming into this country, was to become successful and become a business owner. So prior to actually doing what I do now, I was a hairstylist by trade. And I did that for a really long time, and then a girlfriend of mine reached out to me, and I fell in love, with what I do now, and here I am. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's quite a story, and we're gonna dabble into a lot of things. That's impressive,
Yeah.
As a Latina woman in Connecticut, as you know, we small, but the ones that we are here, we are thriving right now, and we have to, this is a good way to communicate to others, how to reach you, how to talk to you, because we have a lot of things in common, so let's go back to Bob. How do you started the company? What drove you into this kind of business?
$52. A wife that trusted me.
That's good.
Three kids. I got sick. I was working weapon and drug control for Rochester, New York school districts, and we had a young man get shot in front of us. And I told my wife, I can't do this. I can't do this. I met a guy named Hector Velez, who was in the insurance industry, and he said, "Look, Bob, you could do this." And I said, "I have no idea. I am the most stupidest gringo in the world. There's no way I'm going to get in the insurance industry." So we went through some things, and he was just so encouraging. And so I got into the insurance industry. It really trained me as a young city kid. There's a professional side of all of us. We just got to capture it. So Hector got me through some things. And then, as I was growing, I realized that money doesn't come from trees. We had a guy in our church, Pastor Louis Gomez. He says, "I want you to go out and I want you to shake every tree in the neighborhood. And when money comes out of that tree, you let me know, and I'm going to be there with you." So I had a lot of training of men who turned this boy into hopefully a better man. But it wasn't done by me. So my wife and I started our cleaning companies. And one day I was sitting at Panera in Newington, Connecticut. And a man who I've seen every day for months said to me, one day I said hi, and he actually said, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And I said, "I run a cleaning company." He goes, "Are you joking me?"
Why is that?
And he said to me, "I'm looking for a cleaning company. I'm going to terminate the services of a cleaning company because I've been watching the cameras and their invoices do not support the days they've been here." And I was very fortunate at that sit down. Within hours, he committed 4 Paneras to me. And within months, I had 26.
Wow.
And
phenomenal.
then we networked. Then I went to some networking meetings. Then we ended up with all the Denny's. So then we ended up doing all the real estate offices. And then we branched out to doing pre-market cleaning. One woman asked me one day, "Do you clean houses too before they list?" I had no idea what she said. All I said was yes.
Yes.
So I said, and I've been blessed because we grew, we were honest, but Bob Rizzo did not grow with Bob Rizzo. Bob Rizzo grew with a coaching staff, with a team of people who cared that I succeeded. And that's where I think that now, organically, as we work together, we do that. And I was able to sell both my companies because I hired a consultant and say, "Look, everything needs to be in line before you sell."
Yes.
So I sold, and then all of a sudden, once we sold, we were okay. So at that point, I said, I told my wife, "We know a little bit. We've learned a little bit. Let's start giving it back." So as we deal with people now, if you go to my website, you'll see her. She's on the team. We have people on the team. Our goal is to get people just someplace, a better place.
Better place, that's
But
right.
when they get there, it's going to take people like you and Ivy to protect them financially and get them moving in the next direction. But Sonia, it has been a ball, and I'm having fun. At 62 years old, I am still having fun.
Well, you look great, Bob. You do.
62.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe you said the age online.
I'm not afraid.
Fire! We have a lot of people online, so if you do have some questions, go ahead and go ahead and just ask. That's what we're here for. And back to you, Bob, really quick. I really wanted to say thank you because you always, are one knowledgeable, in everything that I talk to you about. You always let me know if you do it or if you have somebody to, that you can actually, recommend me. But most of all, you are fun to be with and super awesome in the Spanish community because I don't know where you learned your Spanish, but oh my goodness.
I'm just a Puerto Rican gringo.
You're making him blush.
Right? For the first time.
Listen, I learned Spanish playing dominoes and salsa dancing.
That's awesome.
I was the only white guy in the neighborhood who salsa dance and play dominoes.
That's the Bob that we wanted to know. See? You got your business, but, you are fun to be with. So,
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And thank you for always smiling and just you're so inviting when I visit, and I appreciate it.
We have to be like that. It's something that is in our DNA. We just have fun. I don't see myself like, moping and how can we do this? Yeah. So back to you. I know that obviously the business that you add is so important, obviously for the Latino community. You speak Spanish. I know that I spoke to speak, so we're going to have a twist. We're going to start talking to you in Spanish. Okay. And Bob, I know that you're understanding. So, to all the Latinos and Spanish speakers.
Once you start speaking Spanish, you should get up and dance.
You told me to start speaking Spanish. All of a sudden it goes out the window. So I'll do my best.
He's going to be nodding. Yeah, he's going to be nodding. So, vamos a hablar entonces un poquito. Okay. ¿En qué directamente tú ayudas a las compañías y a las personas que están importantes en el mercado latino y hispano?
Bueno, yo sé sinceramente que especialmente en la comunidad latina, la ignorancia sobre la educación, sobre las finanzas personales, es una cosa que falta en cada casa latina.
La familia no hablaba de eso.
No es una cosa que nosotros podemos hablar en la mesa durante la cena, no es una conversación. Sino la cultura de nosotros es que las cosas y los asuntos del dinero es una cosa privada.
Yeah.
Nadie habla sobre eso. Y si tú preguntas, pues todo el mundo está, mija, que yo no tengo dinero, que tú sabes que, ¿cómo es que siempre me decía, mira cómo está, ay, siempre la brega. Tú sabes, así somos nosotros los latinos.
Yeah.
Pero lo más importante es la educación. Y si nosotros podemos coger alguna... tú sabes, vamos a decir, esquinitas de esa educación,
yeah.
Nosotros podemos cambiar la comunidad por completo y podemos cambiar el mundo completo.
Claro,
o sea,
claro.
La cultura de nosotros somos firmes, somos centrados en familia. Y con una persona, si yo le doy la información, ellos confían en mí, yo hago lo que yo debo de hacer, sí. Y lo hago con integridad y con mucha calidad, eso cambia todo. Yo puedo empezar con una familia, una pareja, y de momento es para su hija, y entonces para los nietos, y las tías, y el vecino, y el pastor, y así es como hemos podido crecer el negocio con cosas que son, tú sabes, simples. Y cuando yo hablo especialmente con las familias latinas, ellos están sorprendidos sobre las cosas que yo estoy enseñando, porque yo dije, pero eso es tan simple. Y yo le dije,
yeah.
Sí. Lamentablemente la industria ha cogido algo tan simple y lo ha hecho tan complicado que para nosotros mejor es dejarlo para una persona ajena que nosotros no conocemos, y lamentablemente muchas veces cogen ventaja de nosotros.
Sí, eso lo he visto mucho en cada industria, and we're talking now, we're switching, obviously because you gave the most important message there, and it is true. No matter what industry, unfortunately, we have the good apples and the bad apples, and the bad apples, they make our job so hard, to maintain the integrity, to give the right information to people or business. So I'm really proud of you, because the Primerica that I knew is not the one that it once was, right? So can you tell us a little bit in what Primerica, because when we first met, and you mentioned Primerica, the first thing that it came to mind, it was my old, we're talking about 20 years, because Primerica has been here for the longest.
For real.
So, the first impression, it was like, what did they do? Like I got lost in translation, but then again, when I met you and you gave me all the information, it's amazing. One, that, the stability for the company that has been here for so long, and the changes and everything that they're doing for the community and for the, either personal or business. Can you tell us a little bit the changes?
Of course. So Primerica, so we've been in business for over 46 years.
Wow.
And the concept of our company has been solely to correct an injustice. To be able to take it's something that has become so complicated on Wall Street and bring it down to Main Street for families like you and myself.
Yeah.
And one of the most important things that we really focus on and what has changed throughout the years. And I don't know that the philosophies of our company so much have changed. I do know for a fact that there's many of us in this company, but we don't all run our businesses the same way.
Okay.
And so when I come across somebody like yourself who has had an experience with this company, I also had an experience with this company prior to me saying yes, which is the reason why when I was introduced to it again, so 14 years ago, my immediate answer to it, Sonia, was no, thank you, I'll pass, because I heard about you, and that's unfortunate because what that means is that the person that you interacted with didn't do the best by you and didn't do the best by the company. And so what I became very passionate and focused on, more importantly, was making sure that when you heard Primerica from me, you saw it from my eyes and how passionate I was and how Primerica has been able to help me. Taking somebody who was completely ignorant on even just simple things like the rule of 72 and how to make money work for you. And the fact that I didn't have to work until the day I died, and knowing that my mother worked so hard coming into this country to provide us a lifestyle that unfortunately would not have sustained her when it was her turn to retire.
Yeah.
That's where I became very passionate about it. Simple concepts of money and how it works, and educating myself so that I can make my dollar work for me, not me work for my dollar for the rest of my life. That's what I grabbed onto. So anytime I speak to someone who has had a negative experience with the company, I go, pause. We're all in the same company. We don't run the business the same way. I know you may not be interested. I know you don't want to hear about it, but see it through me first before you make your final decision.
Phenomenal.
And for the most part, I can honestly tell you, like it happened with you, by the time I'm done speaking, they go, wait a minute.
Yeah, this is completely
This is not the same company.
Yeah.
Now, we're also on the New York Stock Exchange. So anything that,
Ooh.
Our company has done or continues to do, we're on solid rock. We were named the most trusted financial company in 2022 by Investors Business Daily. We've been endorsed by Forbes magazine many, many years in a row. So if you hear somebody say anything negative, you've got to understand you've got to put that against everything that we are, and we're publicly traded, so all of our information is public. So don't necessarily look at the company, look at the individual who served you, and they didn't serve you well. So that's what I'm really.
I love it. I love it. This is the reason that we're here. This is
I'll tell you
amazing.
something that you, anyone watching or listening, you cannot dismiss the fact of passion.
Yes.
We are really passionate about what we do. And we're not passionate because it's our job or it's our business. We're passionate for people. I truly believe, and I've revisited, a lot of things that I truly believe that sometimes we are placed in a moment for a purpose to make a difference.
That's right.
Yep.
Some family's going to sit with you. Some family's going to sit with you. And it's not just because they had nothing to do that day. Divinely, they're sitting with you because you have a purpose and you can make a difference to them. And I really believe if we can continue to do that and be passionate about what we do, not passionate for the dollars, not passionate because our logo is going to be bigger or brighter, but when someone leaves our office or our presence or our training, that we've made a difference.
That's right.
And when you go to bed at night and you've made a difference, things change.
That's
Things
it.
change.
Absolutely. I don't have a question for you, Bob. That's the first person. Let me see. I have a question for Bob. If you can do it all over again, what would you do differently also to Ivy? Both questions.
I would have listened to people that had more experience than me and removed my pride.
Okay. You want to share a little bit more at the why?
Yes, yeah, because I've made some $4,000, $6,000, $10,000, $12,000 mistakes.
Yeah.
But I got to remember, I'm not an island. When I make a $12,000 mistake, it's a mistake that's going to affect my business,
Yep.
my household. And I'm not saying making moral mistakes or tragic mistakes, just making mistakes, not doing the way things that I was trained, so I could have grown faster.
Yeah.
So
But those mistakes got you where you are today. No,
and I totally get that, and I appreciate it. That's why I try to tell young people, or not young in age, but infancy with their businesses. Listen to people who have already learned from the hard knocks.
Yes.
That's right.
That's so true.
Why jump off the bridge I jumped off of and find out there's no water underneath it?
Exactly.
You've got to just learn. But I would just take away my pride when I was younger because I didn't know what I was doing. and I thought I knew what I was doing, and I didn't listen to the people that knew what they were doing.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
That's great.
What about you?
I think I would have done more faster. I think, and it goes back to ego and pride. You know, sometimes the worst person in your life is the person you stare at in the mirror every morning, because you get in your own way. And so for myself, I would have spoken about it a lot more enthusiastically to a lot more people a lot faster, because what I realized is that, and actually I was mentored on this morning, is that you're not going to create financial independence. There's not enough time on this earth for you and I, or for yourself, for us to create financial independence by ourselves. We need a team of people to do it. And so if I would have spoken to a lot more people and not gotten in my own way, thinking, I think they're all set, or what would they think of me? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Believe me, when I'm done talking, maybe not to you guys, because I know you guys love me and I love you guys.
Yeah.
But if you're speaking to a complete stranger and you go, I can help you, and they go, no, thank you, they don't think twice about you when you're done.
Yeah.
And I spent too much time caring so much about what other people thought that I stopped myself from speaking to the next person about what I did, so I slowed myself down.
But I relate to that as well. If I look back, obviously the mistakes that you made before, it drove me to who I am today. So bravo for my mistakes, as long as I don't make them again. But it is true. We are our biggest people who cheer you on, yes, but we also turn ourselves like, maybe I can't do this. I think that me personally, in my late 40s, early 50s, that's when I said, stop. Enough is enough. And I tell myself every day, if you got to do 20 things, pick the top 5 and make them really excited for you.
Something else is, no matter how successful you are, no matter how successful we are, there's still times that we need our retreats.
Oh, yes.
There are times that you can do things for the masses and you can help a lot of people, but when you start becoming burnt out and you start to the point where you're not taking care of yourself with health, wellness, even if in your spiritual life, if you're not taking care of you, you're never going to be what that next person needs you to be.
Correct.
Because you didn't take care of you. So I just think as we try to be the best that we can be for everyone, let's not forget we need to be the best for the guy in the mirror.
Correct. And that's so true. It's incredible. As we talked about it, prior to this, we're going to talk a lot of in a lot of different ways, different topics and everything else. And I'm so excited that you guys, it is chemistry. It's so nice to talk. Yes. I think people are going to ask for more.
Just for nothing?
Oh my goodness, sexy. They are saying wow because of the answers, oh my goodness. So
look, I really do believe people like us,
yes,
if we're not transparent with people and honest, it's such a disservice. I'm not great at what I do. And you're not great. You're not great. We are someplace because we're learning.
Yes.
We're not afraid to make mistakes. We're not afraid to admit mistakes. So this becomes fun when we just do it together.
That's so true. That's so true. If you have how can I say this? If you have something to tell somebody else in business, a younger yourself, what would you say right now to them?
As patient as you can possibly be, especially if you're a youth. You're a young individual. Yeah. You want to, social media, television, everybody you see, this persona on everyone. These people didn't get there by a snap of a finger or a twinkle of a nose. There's a lot of labor. You look at a lot of these people that are these influencers. Be careful. Mm-hmm. Just be careful. There's labor comes with the passion for what you want to do. So if I were to say anything, I would say be patient. Gather all the information that you can, and don't be afraid to ask someone, what do you wish you didn't do? We always want to ask people, well, what did you do? Why don't you ask some people, like when my wife and I got married, we knew exactly what we didn't want. We had no idea what we wanted. We were young kids coming out of a city school district, but we had so much luggage from our families and friends, we knew what we didn't want. So same thing in business. Don't be afraid to ask someone in business, what do you wish you didn't do? So hopefully you don't do it.
Good.
So how, if they have any questions about your business, how they can actually reach you?
You can go to rz1services.com, or you can call me personally at 860-539-5692. And I promise you, I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to ignore you.
That's awesome. And to you, Evie, tell us, what would you say to a younger version of yourself, a Latina that is actually trying to make it right now? What would you say to them?
I love that question because I've always said to myself, I wanted to be the person my 14-year-old self needed.
There you go. That's beautiful. That's
I live
powerful.
to be the person my 14-year-old self needed because there's a lot that I've learned throughout the years. But don't take yourself so seriously.
That's really
right.
That's good.
If we only knew.
Don't take yourself so seriously. Life is short. Be okay with no. Be okay with no, because no's are the stepping stones for you to become successful. There are things in life where we have always been told that no is failure, and no is actually one step closer to where you want to go.
Definitely, I feel the same way.
Don't worry about what anybody else has to say.
What about
you
wait?
Know, be comfortable. What?
What about no, yes? What about wait?
Wait?
How many times in our lives the no is so evident, or the yes is evident, but when it's time to wait, we don't wait.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, our timing and God's timing will never match.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Our timing and God's timing will never match. Remain centered. Know that the world belongs to you if you make the decision to do so. Don't take yourself so seriously.
Right.
Believe me, nobody else does.
Yeah.
That's that is so true. Oh my goodness.
Failure only comes when you quit. Keep going, even if you feel like, man, you're on your chest. And I heard it once from Les Brown where he said, you know what, if you fall down, make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
Amen.
And
Nice.
life is
goodness, yes.
so available for you. Don't take yourself so seriously, and don't be afraid of somebody saying no to you, because saying no to you just leads you one step closer to where you want to go.
That's so true.
Save your money, get somebody who can mentor you in that. And just know that you should never take advice from someone who's never been where you want to go. Those are the most important concepts. I can remain centered.
You were so on point on that. I love everything that you said, and a lot of people are agreeing with that. If they wanted to actually reach you, Evie, where can they can actually reach you? How they can get in contact with you? Tell us.
That's great. So there's a few ways. So I am on social media. I'm on Instagram at Ivy Trevitazzo. You can reach me by email. I'm at toc.globalleaders@gmail.com. You can reach me at 860-818-7430. I'm all over the place. I'm not that difficult to find. Call Sonia if you can't find me.
I'm gonna put your information, in the links below, so everybody can actually share this and get in contact with Bob and get in contact with Evie, because you know what, we are a good team, and they're here to help everybody else, and we're here in Connecticut. Come on, pick up the phone, send an email, say whatever you need. We are here, and if we can't help you, what we do, we will refer you to somebody who can. So, any last words that you wanted to actually talk to and close this with a boom?
If I could jump and do a somersault and thank you,
Seriously.
I would do it.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough for the time to sit with you, Sonia. And for the listeners out there, if you really don't know Sonia, you need to know her. Your gratitude, your invitation, your help to us, and your support, it's priceless. And I personally just want to thank you for taking time out of your day.
I appreciate that, Bob.
Together. I really do. I love you to death, girl.
Oh my goodness, I love you too, baby. I do. Thank you for those kind words.
I'm incredibly humbled, honestly, to be here, to be able to share this platform with the two of you. It was love at first sight.
I know. Oh my goodness.
This will be the beginning of many things. So if there's anything that I can leave with is being educated when it comes to personal finance and getting your money straight is so important. Do not let your family become another GoFundMe statistic. That is so important.
So true.
And
yeah.
and Let's just be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. Believe me, one phone call can change absolutely everything for you, and we're here to serve you.
I'm so proud of what you're doing, you know, and we communities, it doesn't matter if it's Latino or non-Latino community, we need your information, we need your knowledge, we need your services. You know, it's incredible that 3 different companies like ours, we are sitting here and we have everything in common that is helping the community, helping the businesses, helping, you know, everybody that we know that we've been there. So, you know, it's amazing. So all of you who are listening, thank you so much. You did amazing.
Thank you for having us.
So let's have a big hug.
Thank you, Mama. I love you, Mama.
Oh my goodness, I love you, love you, love you.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much
guys for coming over.
Thank you.
And say bye. Say Latin Financial.
Latin Financial.
Let me see.